Now, they think they should control the rest of the world for their own interests. And the starting point always with the imperialists is their own interests. And the interests are in big business, particularly in the Middle East. You don't have to be Sherlock Holmes to know it's oil, 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 oil. And that's why they're there. And that's why their strategy and tactics revolve around how they can control the oil fields. Not that they even need it. The United States doesn't even need the oil, but how they can stop other people having it if they need to. That's the understanding of it. It's not because the people in that area are crazy and have been fighting for thousands of years. That has nothing to do with it. They've propped up these rotten regimes for many, many years. They've overthrown governments. They turn their eyes to, turn their coffers over to the most brutal regimes. The biggest arms deal in history recently was with Saudi Arabia, one of the most reactionary forces in all the world, where ISIS was originally funded. Syria, the CIA used to have rendition flights over there so Assad could torture them in Syria. Oh, they like Assad there. When the Arab Spring came along, it was the United States who spoke out against it. Senator McCain, who was the leader of the Armed Forces Committee, said, it's a terrible thing, this Arab Spring. We could get regimes that oppose the United States. So that was a green light to countries like Syria and others to attack the uprisings that took place. Yeah? And they were genuine uprisings in Syria and Egypt and throughout the Middle East. People wanted change. They didn't want to be controlled by these brutal regimes. They wanted to enjoy some of the wealth that they sat on every day, and that was never theirs. That's why they refer to, in the Middle East, they would refer to oil as the devil's blood, because they didn't get any of it. It was meant misery for them, for all the lives. And the hypocrisy that we see from the imperialist powers. With Trump, when he says the reason that he tweeted to Erdogan that he was no longer going to support the Kurds and the Turkish army could go and invade, he said the reason was because the Kurds weren't there at D-Day. I mean, he couldn't come up with anything better than that, you know? It's shown for the whole world to see the lies and hypocrisy of these people and the callousness of it. And they don't care whether you live or whether you die. All they care about is their own profits. And that's why I feel proud here to stand with the Kurdish people who have been divided up all these years. They have the right for self-determination. Stand with the people in Syria, the revolutionaries who fought in Syria. So many of them have been killed. The Arab Spring in Egypt, which has been set back. America spent $79 billion a year financing the Egyptian army. The bullets go into the head of the people who are resisting on the streets. It's an American-made bullet or a British-made bullet. Same with the Palestinians being murdered every day. No, we have to fight for a different world. And what's so exciting that's happening now, younger people are starting to mobilize over very many things, over the environment, over so many things. Chile uprisings are taking place here, there, everywhere. We see the right also moving. We've got to link all of these things. The fight of the Kurds is the fight for all of us. An injury to one is an injury to all. You can't help the Kurds without helping yourself here. They will destroy the environment or they'll blow us all up. We have got to stand together, and all these movements have got to be linked. And I feel we have a chance. On December the 3rd, Trump and the rest of them are coming around NATO. I don't know why they're coming here. Are they going to tell us how well they're doing? No. We have got to oppose these people. We are fighting here, standing together for a different world. These are our brothers and sisters. We don't want a world where they go out and plunder the world with a hand with a gun. We want a hand of peace. And I think that's why they hate Jeremy Corbyn so much in this election. I have to mention him because he was the chair of Stop the War Coalition and he was a supporter of the Palestine movement, and they will hate him for that. They will hate him for that. But I think that's the sort of people we need. I want a government of a peace. I want a government that doesn't go to war, that doesn't lie to us about it, and I want a government that stands with the oppressed all around the world. So we have to stand together. I am hopeful. Young